Story Sirens, the podcast where we deep dive into myths and legends from around the world, including from your favorite books, movies, and TV shows. My name is Sarah.
And I'm Yenny. Today we are covering a widely popular topic around the world.
Widely popular topic. Is it really that big?
Oh, you could say it's gigantic.
Today we are covering
Giants! All right, and fair warning, today I'm going to be a little bit softer because I am doing an audiobook this week, and so I have to take care of my voice. So if I get too loud, Sarah is going to slap me through the internet. So,
Yes, I am. I have a spray bottle right here.
oh, no, not the spray bottle. We can find giants throughout Greek and Norse mythology, as well as in biblical text. We'll be going through the different descriptions and stories of the large creatures, as well as talking about some folklore revolving around them. Following Greek mythology, giants are said to be the children of Uranus, heaven, and Gaia, earth. Their conception was a bit odd.
That's an understatement.
Oh, you have no idea. After the Titan Kronos castrated his father Uranus, Uranus's blood dripped onto Earth, aka Gaia, and after a time, we could say 9 months, the giants were born. In other variations, giants are said to be the children of Gaia and Tartarus, which is the lowest point of the universe. And by low, we're talking lower than the underworld.
Yeesh.
No matter who birthed them, we can all agree that these are mythical creatures that are not very friendly.
You know, Odysseus' crew would agree with this. Remember the Lastrygonians?
We're going to be talking about Odysseus in this one, too. The giants were described as large humanoid beings with long hair and beards and scaly serpentine-like legs. These incredibly strong, savage, and barbaric creatures were known to be violent, often depicted throwing boulders and rocks as weapons. Their strength and stature was formidable. The queen of the gods herself, Hera, said no god could destroy the giants. While there are many stories in Greek mythology revolving around the giants, by far the most famous is the story of the Gigantomachy, or the Revolt of the Giants. The story goes that the giants were angered at Zeus for having thrown the Titans into Tartarus. As a means for revenge, the giants gathered and began throwing boulders up at the heavens, and just about wreaking havoc throughout the land. Alarmed at this, the gods prepared to battle the giants. Now, remember how I told you Hera said no god could defeat a giant? That comes from this exact tale. Foreseeing defeat, Hera said only a demigod could kill the giants. And can you guess which is that?
Is it Huncules?
Oh, yes, it is. Gaia, who was not about to let her half-human, half-snake babies perish, searched for an herb that could protect her children. In the same way, Hercules needed that herb to make himself invulnerable. Zeus was a step ahead of the game, for he knew where the herb was and had instructed Helios and Selene, gods of the sun and moon respectively, to never shine their light on it, so that Gaia couldn't find it. With the help of his daughter Athena, Zeus was able to obtain the herb and gave it to Hercules. Here's where the story gets bloody and dark.
I was waiting.
Oh yeah. Alcyoneus, leader of the giants, was one of the giants that could not be beaten in his own land because of the magical power that he held in that land.
Folklore logic.
Now, with Hercules there, Hercules shot an arrow at Alcyoneus, and with Athena's aid, was able to kill him. Meanwhile, another giant, Porphyrion, had jumped up high enough to reach heaven, going straight to Hera and strangling her.
Oh my gosh.
Eros, nearby, shot his arrow, and Porphyrion went from rage to lust. But before he could do anything to Hera, which he was, Zeus intervened and shot him with a bolt of lightning.
I never thought I would say this, but way to go, Zeus.
Right? The one time thank you. So, unfortunately, just as Hera said, the king of the gods' lightning bolt did not keep him down. Luckily, though, Hercules was there and finished the job his dad had started.
Whew!
The battle between gods and giants continued, with Hercules shooting an arrow at all the giants and securing the final blow. Seeing that they were being outmatched, the giants fled the heavens and went back down to earth, but the gods and Hercules followed, ensuring their demise.
In some variations of the tale, the whole gigantomachy was started due to the giant Alcyoneus stealing and eating Helios's cattle. Perhaps Alcyoneus and Eurylochus from the Odyssey are distant cousins?
They must be, and poor Helios and his cows.
I know.
They can't get a break.
I know, he just wants to keep his pets safe. I mean, come on.
I mean, they are pretty. We're talking about golden cows.
They're beautiful. Stop eating them.
Now let's take a trip to Norse mythology. In Norse mythology, giants are known as Jotnar and were believed to be older than the gods, being born from primordial chaos, which is when the world's fire and ice came together. Chaos ensuing, as the name suggests. The first giant born was Ymir, and all other giants came from him. No castration necessary.
Whew!
Ymir was parthenogenetic, meaning that he could reproduce without mating. His children came from his sweaty armpits, and if his armpits weren't sweaty, from his massive thighs.
You've got to be joking.
I wish I was, and when I read that and had to write that, I was cracking up the whole time.
I'm sorry, just real quick. I'm just picturing, here we have this parthenogenetic giant who is producing via the sweat of his armpits or his thighs. The chafing.
He's got to put deodorant on the thighs.
I'm like, yeah, like dude needs some talcum powder or something.
Oh my gosh. No, and then what about the giants? You think they fight about it? I came from my father's armpits. I came from my father's thigh.
Oh, yes, hoity-toity. Look how virile we all are. Okay. All right. Continue, Yinny. We would like to learn more, I think.
The giants and the gods, known as Aesir in Norse mythology, were a bit kinder to each other, to some respect. The Jotnar were not depicted as barbaric or ugly, unlike the giants in Greek myth. Many gods took giants as partners. Odin himself is born from a giant and a god. But family bonding doesn't last. While the Greek gods and giants had a catalyst to their war, the war between Jotnar and Aesir is a little murky. Nonetheless, to be able to end the existence of giants, Odin and his brothers band together to kill Ymir, aka Grandpa, doing so when he was asleep and dismembering his body.
Ah, yes. Yeah, no love lost between family.
Yeah, I'm like, that's you couldn't let him wake up and fight for himself? I mean, come on now.
Right? Where's the sportsmanship?
Yeah, none. It doesn't exist in Norse mythology. So, his body parts are then used to create the 9 realms, which we will cover more in depth in another episode, because, 9 realms is a lot.
That is a lot.
It is said that our world, Midgard, is his head. When we look up to the sky, we are looking at the inside of his skull. The clouds, his brain. Teeth and broken bones, mountains. All his blood, the oceans. Quite morbid if you ask me.
As a nature lover, I'm a little distressed by this.
Oh, and distressed you should be. Because if you, when you're going swimming in the ocean and you accidentally, swallow some of that water and you're like, fish poop.
I don't like where this is going.
Now you know that you're also swallowing Ymir's blood. So, there's that. Ymir's blood mixed with fish poop.
I don't like this.
All right, I know you don't like it, but let's talk a little bit more about Ymir's blood for a second.
Do we have to?
Yes, we need it for context, our favorite thing about this podcast.
I know.
Now, when Ymir was dismembered, not only did his blood create all the oceans, but while in the creation of the world, the torrent swept all the giants away, aka bye-bye. Bye-bye, giants.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Only a giant named Bergelmir, with his family, was able to escape by means of a wooden ark. Because of this, the existence of giants continued, unlike in Greek mythology where all the giants went bye-bye for real.
No, we're just killing them all off. We're done.
Currently, the Jotnar live in Jotunheim, yet there is never peace between them and the gods. It's sort of like this I like you, but I don't like you, and I will certainly kill you one more time.
Okay.
It is written that Ragnarok, the destruction of this world and the beginning of a new one, will be a battle between the gods, giants, and demons. There are quite a few mentions of giants in the Bible, called Nephilim. In the book of Genesis, giants are said to be born from the union of angels and humans, specifically written sons of God and daughters of men. There's still debate on their actual origin, as some scholars question what son of God could mean. Was it a rebellious angel, or perhaps just larger, stronger humans? The Nephilim were described as large and powerful, with the book of Numbers, chapter 13, verse 33, stating,
"And there we saw the Nephilim, and we seemed to ourselves like grasshoppers, and so we seemed to them."
One of the most famous giants in the Bible is Goliath, who appears in 1 Samuel. Goliath was said to be a giant Philistine who could beat anyone with ease. He challenged the Israelites to have someone fight him in single combat. A shepherd boy by the name of David enters the picture, holding a staff and his trusty sling and stone.
Because none of the soldiers were brave enough to face him.
With one stone from his sling, David hits Goliath in the forehead, and the giant falls to the ground. David then cuts off his head, and the Philistines flee, which is smart.
For sure.
When the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered in 1947, the world gained what is currently known as the earliest translation of the Hebrew Bible. We're talking way back to 3 BC, people.
Woo!
The Septuagint, the earliest Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible, uses the word gigantes, which scholars believe to be used as a way to refer to the Bible's Nephilim, because of the commonality between the two of them: larger than a normal human, immense strength, and unknown origins.
While not viewed as canonical scripture to the Jewish Torah or Christian Bible, the Book of Enoch also mentions giants, stating that Nephilim originated from them and describes them as being 300 cubits, which converts to 450 feet.
Also, I would like to add that there is like a discourse between what the cubits might be. I did it through the calculator on Google and it gave me 450, but some people say it's over 500. So we leave that to you. Let's move a little bit further in the timeline and look at some European folklore, specifically in Cornwall, UK. Legend has it that Quirinius, founder of Cornwall, battled a giant by the name of Gog-Magog, who was said to be 12 feet high and have incredible strength. Quirinius defeats him, throwing him off a cliff that would later be named Giant's Leap, which is about an hour away from Cornwall in Totnes, Devon. Another variation of the tale states that Quirinius defeated Gog-Magog and then took him, in chains, to London, where he became a guardian. Now, I will like to say the travel from Cornwall to London is pretty far, so that was a very long-winded travel experience.
Yeah, hot dang.
And just because we wanted to also see exactly how far away Cornwall was from London, it's about 4 hours away by travel. So by foot, that is definitely over a day's worth of travel. Yeah, it's a long trip. You can see the statues of Gog-Magog as the duo Gog and Magog in Guildhall, London. While we don't have any giants roaming the earth now, there are people in this world with a very specific condition: gigantism and Marfan syndrome. Gigantism is a rare condition where a child grows to an abnormal size due to an increase in growth hormones. The cause of this is due to a non-cancerous tumor that forms in the pituitary gland, which is at the base of our brain. If caught in time, the tumor can be removed and the child won't be affected by it any longer. Marfan syndrome is a genetic disorder affecting the body's connective tissue and often results in abnormally elongated limbs and fingers. Unfortunately, there is no cure for it yet.
And in addition to this, Andre the Giant, the famous wrestler and actor, had acromegaly, a hormonal disorder that caused his body to produce too much of his growth hormones. He stood at 6'3" and weighed 200 pounds by the time he was 12.
That's crazy.
We love Andre the Giant.
We do. We love Andre.
All right. So let's go to giants in modern and semi-modern media. In Gulliver's Travels, I know, semi-modern media, we always dwell on Gulliver meeting the little people known as the Lilliputians. But Gulliver also travels to the land of giants. The land is called Brobdingnagian, and there he meets the Brobdingnagians. Everything in that land is proportional to these giant people, so it's a little tricky for Gulliver to explore and survive this land.
It was also a little tricky for Sarah to say those words, and thank God I did not have to say them.
I think I'm still twitching from it.
The anime Attack on Titan is quite literally about a race of giants who eat humans, called Titans. The manga used inspiration from Norse mythology for the series, even naming one of the characters after the first Jotnar, Ymir.
Disney's The BFG, directed by Steven Spielberg, is a movie that follows young Sophie, a 10-year-old girl who befriends a giant. But not all giants are as friendly as her friend. In fact, some are man-eaters. Get ready for a wild ride of magical delight, including help from the Queen of England.
Yeah, Queen Elizabeth is in that one. It's really funny.
If you want to check it out on Netflix, Zack Snyder's adult animated show, Twilight of the Gods, features Norse mythology and a protagonist who is half giant and avenging her giant family. Check it out. It is violent. It is gory. It's pretty dang good. All right, friends, let's go to our siren call. If you are willing to tread some gruesome waters, watch Attack on Titan. The anime is finally completed. Or read the manga. If you're needing something a bit more family-friendly, watch the BFG.
They're both great in their own
own strange ways.
Thank you for listening to today's short but very sweet. Actually, it's not sweet at all. There is absolutely nothing sweet. Well, we're sweet.
We were sweet, yes.
We were sweet.
Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Story Sirens. You can follow us on Instagram at Story Sirens Podcast. Want to support us? Send us a cup of Ko-fi by searching ko-fi.com/storysirens. We've got lots of treats for those who become siren seekers. All research materials can be found in the episode summary. Music by Donald Guzzi and artwork by Alexis Torres. Story Sirens is a Feather and Fin production. See you soon.